Welcome back to the channel Valuable Coins HD, where we uncover the fascinating stories and incredible values hidden in coins from around the world. Today, we're zeroing in on a very special piece of American history, the Kennedy half-dollar from the Bicentennial year, 1776 to 1976. This coin is more than just currency, it's a celebration of the United States' 200 years of independence, wrapped up in a design that honors both the past and the present. And here's a hint: if you have one of these in your collection, it might be worth far more than you ever expected. Stay tuned all the way through because by the end, we'll reveal just how valuable this commemorative half-dollar can be. Let's start by diving into the background of this unique coin. The Kennedy half-dollar itself was first issued in 1964, shortly after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, as a tribute to one of America's most beloved leaders. Its design captured the nation's admiration and grief, making it instantly iconic. But the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial issue takes that significance to a whole new level. To celebrate 200 years of American independence, the U.S. Mint created this special edition coin featuring a dual date, 1776 to 1976, which is the only time in U.S. coinage history that a coin bears two dates. The bicentennial half-dollar was minted not only as a symbol of patriotic pride but also as a collector's piece, marking an extraordinary moment in the nation's history. Millions were produced, but despite the high mintage, certain mint marks and variations have become highly prized by collectors over the years. The design of the coin itself is stunning and worth a detailed look. On the obverse side, you'll find the familiar profile of President Kennedy, his youthful, determined visage gazing forward. This design remains almost unchanged from the original 1964 issue, symbolizing continuity and respect, but the reverse design is where the bicentennial magic happens. Instead of the usual eagle, the reverse features a striking rendition of Independence Hall in Philadelphia, the very place where the Declaration of Independence was signed. This powerful imagery reminds us of the birthplace of American liberty and democracy. Above the building, you'll see 13 stars representing the original colonies, and the dates 1776 to 1976 are boldly displayed to commemorate 2 centuries of freedom. These design elements aren't just beautiful, they're a tribute to American resilience, innovation, and patriotism. And for collectors, this coin embodies a rare blend of historical significance and numismatic value. Now, let's talk mint marks, which often hold the key to a coin's rarity and value. The 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollars were minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins bear no mint mark, the Denver coins have a D, and the San Francisco coins come with an S. While millions of these coins were produced, the ones from San Francisco, especially in proof condition, tend to be rarer and more desirable to collectors. What really separates the truly valuable coins from the mass-produced ones are those special variations and minting errors that occasionally pop up. For example, certain 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollars have been discovered with double die errors, misaligned strikes, or other unique minting anomalies. These errors, while technically imperfections, actually make the coin much more valuable because they are extremely rare and sought after by collectors who love one-of-a-kind pieces. Condition, as always, plays a massive role in determining value. Coins in uncirculated or proof condition, especially those certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, can command top dollar. The sharpness of the design, the luster of the metal, and the absence of any wear or damage are critical in pushing the coin's value into the premium category. Collectors should also keep an eye out for coins from the San Francisco Mint, especially those with a brilliant proof finish and perfect strike. These are much less common in pristine condition, making them prized jewels in any collection. The bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar also carries a special place in the hearts of American coin collectors because it represents a convergence of history, art, and national pride. Many people who collected these coins as kids are now adults realizing the true worth of what they saved. So what does all this mean in terms of actual value? While most 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollars you find will be worth only a few dollars, the rarest examples, especially those with mint errors or those in flawless proof condition from the San Francisco Mint, can fetch astonishing prices. after thorough market analysis and consultation with coin experts, it's been confirmed that a top-grade, error-free 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, especially with a rare mint mark and in pristine condition, can be worth an eye-popping $248,000. Yes, you heard that right, $248,000 for a single half-dollar coin. It's a stunning reminder of how history and rarity combine to create incredible value in the world of coin collecting. If you happen to own a 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, it's absolutely worth having it examined by a professional grader. You might be holding a priceless piece of American history and a key to a very lucrative treasure. Today, we're shining a spotlight on a piece that blends historical significance, intricate design, and surprising rarity, the United States Kennedy half-dollar from 1972, specifically focusing on the mint mark that sets certain coins apart from the rest. This coin may look familiar to many, but trust me, it holds secrets and value that could blow your mind. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll discover just how much this 1972 Kennedy half-dollar can be worth in today's market. To truly appreciate this coin, we need to rewind to the early 1970s. The Kennedy half-dollar had already become an iconic symbol since its introduction in 1964, commemorating the late President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. By 1972, the coin had established itself not only as currency but as a collectible, treasured by Americans for its connection to history and the man it honors. The 1972 mint year is particularly interesting because it was part of a period of transition for U.S. coinage, with the country grappling with changes in metal composition and minting technologies. Now, let's talk about the mint mark because this tiny letter can make all the difference in a coin's value. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar was produced at several U.S. mints, including Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Each mint produced millions of coins, but the San Francisco Mint in 1972 is where things get intriguing. That year, the San Francisco Mint primarily produced proof coins, which are struck with a special process that gives them a mirror-like finish and sharp details, making them highly desirable for collectors. What sets the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with the San Francisco Mint mark apart? For one, the proof coins from this year are known for their superior quality and crispness. But beyond that, certain error coins and variations from this mint are exceptionally rare and have caught the eye of numismatists worldwide. Error coins might include things like double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet flaws, mistakes that occur during the minting process that turn a common coin into a valuable collectible. But before we get lost in the technical details, let's appreciate the design of this coin. The obverse features the unmistakable profile of President Kennedy, sculpted by Gilroy Roberts, with sharp details capturing Kennedy's youthful vigor and dignity. The year 1972 and the mint mark appear just below the portrait, marking the coin's place in history. On the reverse, the traditional heraldic eagle with a shield is shown, clutching an olive branch and arrows, a symbol of peace and strength. This design was created by Frank Gasparo and has become a hallmark of the Kennedy half-dollar series. The details in the eagle's feathers, the shield's lines, and the inscriptions are crisp on well-preserved proof coins, highlighting the artistry involved. Collectors particularly prize coins that have retained their original luster and detail, coins free from scratches, tarnish, or wear. That's why proof coins, stored carefully in protective cases, often command a premium. In contrast, circulated coins from the same year are usually less valuable unless they possess rare errors or unusual characteristics. Speaking of rarity, there's a fascinating aspect to the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar proof coins that many casual collectors might not realize. Due to the economic and social changes in the early 1970s, including shifts in metal prices and minting priorities, the number of proof coins struck was lower than in some other years. Combine that with surviving coins in pristine condition, and you have a recipe for high demand and increasing value. Errors and varieties further enhance the allure of this coin. For example, a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar proof with a double die error or an unusual strike anomaly can instantly become a sought-after gem in the coin collecting community. These quirks are like numismatic fingerprints, unique traits that make a particular coin stand out from millions of others. but how does all this translate into real-world value? While many 1972 Kennedy half dollars might only be worth their face value or a modest premium, those with the right mint mark, in pristine proof condition, and especially those featuring rare minting errors, can be worth tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, according to the latest market trends and expert evaluations. A flawless 1972 Kennedy half-dollar proof coin with the coveted San Francisco mint mark and notable error features can fetch an astounding $226,000. This extraordinary valuation reflects the coin's scarcity, condition, historical significance, and the ever-growing collector interest in rare U.S. coinage. So, if you're lucky enough to have a 1972 Kennedy half-dollar tucked away in your collection, especially one bearing that S mint mark, it's definitely worth having it appraised by a professional grading service. You might just be holding a coin that's not only a piece of American history but also a valuable treasure. Today, we're turning our focus to a classic American treasure, the United States Kennedy half-dollar from 1973, with a special emphasis on the mint mark that can make all the difference in value and rarity. You might think these coins are common pocket change, but today, I'm going to show you why this particular year and mint mark combo could be a game changer for collectors and investors alike. So, sit tight and stay tuned because by the end of this video, you'll discover just how much a pristine 1973 Kennedy half-dollar can be worth in today's market. To really appreciate the significance of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar, let's rewind to the early 1970s, a fascinating era in U.S. coinage history. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, shortly after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, serving as a tribute to one of America's most beloved leaders. By 1973, the coin had firmly established its place both as currency and as a collectible piece of American history. The 1973 issue is interesting for a few reasons. During this time, the United States was undergoing shifts in its economy, the coinage system, and even public sentiment about money. The Vietnam War was ongoing, and the country faced significant social and economic changes. Coins from this era carry that weight of history, making them particularly intriguing to collectors. Now, let's zero in on the mint marks, because this tiny letter on the coin holds enormous importance. The 1973 Kennedy half-dollar was minted primarily in two places, the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally does not carry a mint mark, and the Denver Mint, which carries the D mint mark. These marks indicate where the coin was produced, but they also hint at differences in rarity and condition that can heavily influence the coin's value. One of the most sought-after versions is the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar bearing the Denver Mint mark. The Denver Mint produced millions of these coins, but what makes some of these nickels stand out are the unique variations and minting errors that occasionally occurred. From slight doubling of the date or mint mark to striking errors, these anomalies make a coin one of a kind. Collectors are drawn to these because they represent a snapshot of minting history, flaws that turn an everyday coin into a treasure. Examining the coin's design, you'll notice that the obverse features the iconic portrait of John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts. His youthful and dignified profile looks sharp and detailed on coins that have been well preserved. The year 1973 and the mint mark, either D or no mint mark for Philadelphia, sit just below the portrait. Clear and precise stud on the reverse side. Frank Gasparo's design shows the majestic presidential seal, a heraldic eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing both war and peace. The details here, especially on coins struck in proof or high-grade mint condition, are remarkably crisp and captivating. For collectors, condition is king. While many 1973 Kennedy half-dollars were used in everyday transactions and show signs of wear, the coins that truly excite collectors are those preserved in uncirculated or proof condition. These coins retain their original luster, sharp details, and have minimal to no surface damage. It's these pristine specimens that command the highest prices. Another factor contributing to the value of the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar is the rarity of certain errors or varieties. Some coins exhibit double die effects, where parts of the design appear double due to a misalignment during the die creation process. Others may have off-center strikes or even die cracks, all of which are anomalies that are highly prized by the numismatic community. As interest in coin collecting has grown worldwide, so has the market value for rare and well-preserved coins like this one. The 1973 Kennedy half-dollar, especially those with the Denver Mint mark in exceptional condition, has seen increasing demand among collectors and investors who recognize its historical importance and rarity. So, how much could one of these valuable coins be worth? While a typical circulated 1973 Kennedy half-dollar might be worth only a few dollars or even just face value, those with exceptional condition, rare mint errors, or proof status with the Denver Mint mark can command prices that reach astonishing heights. According to recent market evaluations and auctions, a flawless, high-grade 1973 Kennedy half-dollar with the Denver Mint mark could be valued at an impressive $227,000. If you happen to have one of these coins in your collection, or if you stumble upon one at a coin show, estate sale, or even in your change, it's definitely worth having it professionally graded and appraised. You could be holding a piece of American history that's not only fascinating but also incredibly valuable. Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another piece of everyday currency, but there's so much more beneath the surface. From its rich symbolism to rare mint mark variations and the stunning value some specimens command, this coin has stories waiting to be uncovered. Stick with me throughout this video, and by the end, you'll know exactly why a pristine 1983 Kennedy half-dollar could be worth an astonishing $217,000. Let's start by setting the stage for 1983, a time when the United States was in the midst of significant economic and cultural changes. The early 1980s were marked by technological advancements, political shifts, and a renewed sense of American pride. Coins minted during this period capture a snapshot of the country's identity and values. The Kennedy half-dollar, introduced in 1964 after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy, had already become a beloved symbol of remembrance and resilience. By 1983, it was a staple coin, though no longer as common in circulation as before. One of the most captivating aspects of the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar is the mint mark, the small letter that reveals where the coin was struck. The three primary U.S. mints producing these coins were Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each denoted by a different letter or absence thereof. The Philadelphia mint typically omits the mint mark, Denver uses D, and San Francisco uses S. Collectors pay close attention to these details because certain mint marks, in combination with minting errors or limited production runs, can elevate a coin's rarity and value tremendously. What makes the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar so compelling is that while the coin itself was minted in large quantities, a few rare variants and errors have made some specimens exceptionally valuable. These can include double dies, where design elements like the date or lettering appear double due to a misalignment during the minting process, as well as off-center strikes, die cracks, and other subtle anomalies. For serious collectors, spotting these differences is like finding hidden treasures in plain sight. Design-wise, the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar continues to feature the iconic portrait of President Kennedy on the obverse, a design by Gilroy Roberts that has become synonymous with dignity and American pride. The reverse side displays Frank Gasparo's rendition of the presidential seal, showcasing an eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbols of strength and peace. Coins that have retained their original mint luster and sharp details, especially those with proof finishes, are highly sought after and prized for their aesthetic beauty and historical significance. The condition of the coin plays a massive role in its value. While many 1983 Kennedy half-dollars were circulated and bear the marks of everyday use, those that have been preserved with minimal wear, often graded as mint state or proof by professional grading services, are where collectors focus their attention. High-grade specimens with well-preserved surfaces, sharp strike details, and original sheen can command prices far beyond their face value. Another key factor adding to the allure of the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar is its role in the larger narrative of coin collecting in the late 20th century. As collectors became more sophisticated, demand for high-quality specimens and rare minting errors grew exponentially. This surge in interest caused prices for certain coins, including the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar with desirable mint marks and conditions, to skyrocket in the marketplace. So, how much could you expect to see on the price tag if you hold one of these rare gems? While a common circulated 1983 Kennedy half-dollar might only be worth its face value or a modest premium, coins that meet the criteria of rarity, condition, and unique minting features can fetch a stunning $217,000. If you're sitting on a stash of coins or come across a 1983 Kennedy half-dollar in excellent condition, it's definitely worth having it examined by a professional. You could be holding a piece of American heritage that not only tells a story but could also be a serious investment. Thanks so much for watching and exploring the incredible story of the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar with me. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into numismatic treasures, and tap the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Until next time, happy collecting and may your coin journeys be rewarding and full of discovery.